Stephen Seche. So, Ambassador, we saw there in Orla's report, diplomacy stalled, famine spreading, cholera. You're just back from meetings in Riyadh with Yemeni and Saudi officials. Did you get any sense there that there's a way out of the morass?
I really didn't. I wish I had that sense coming out of the meetings. What I walk away with is a feeling of frustration that there is an awareness, increasingly an awareness, that the situation is going entirely in the wrong direction, that on the battlefield there's stasis, there's no clear way out. Only a political settlement is determined to be the final way they can get themselves free of this mess. And yet, the political will, the military ability, the kind of commitment to say we will accept less than we walked in demanding seems not to be there.
And did you detect concern amongst the Yemeni and Saudi officials that you met about this humanitarian catastrophe that's unfolding in Yemen?
Yeah, everyone's aware of it, everyone speaks about it, but yet no one comes up with a plan that says we know there is an immediate, urgent requirement for us to do X, Y, and Z. We need to release assistance or free up the Hodeidah port or come to a solution that will allow the free flow of assistance into the inner parts of Yemen where the population is really at greatest risk. So those specific material steps were not articulated to us.
Did you get the sense that both sides just are very ready to grind this out, or are they open to a new diplomatic initiative?
I didn't detect a real enthusiasm for a new diplomatic initiative, although I would be happy to see one put on the table. I know the UN Special Envoy has now proposed to put a third-party administrative element in place in Hodeidah as a way to get the two warring parties separated. That may, hopefully, that'll find some traction, but I don't know that either party, in my judgment, is prepared to give up what they've claimed in terms of territorial gains recently there.
What role could the Trump administration play? I mean, the US position has been to broadly back the Saudis, hasn't it? Could they change that, or what could they do?
Well, I think we need to change that. I think we need to begin to see that our interests and the Saudi interests don't always converge quite so neatly. And so we need to say, what are our national interests here? And that may require us to find a little bit of a daylight between our support for the Saudis, which is legitimate. I mean, what the Saudis intentionally went in there to do is restore a legitimate government, so fine. But the way they're doing it is clearly not going to achieve their end.
And what do you feel is at stake here if this war just carries on as it is, even beyond the humanitarian catastrophe?
Well, the idea of a deeply destabilized Yemen sitting where it does geographically, just to the south of Saudi Arabia, just around the Red Sea and the Indian Ocean, where so many energy supplies flow, with a resident al-Qaeda, perhaps ISIS population looking to conduct external attacks, all of that spells a disastrous scenario in my judgment.
Ambassador Stephen Seche, thank you for joining us.
My great